guys I brought into the more commercial side of the business, whilst they weren't necessarily known to everyone here, but they were third and fourth generation Melbourne supporters in Matt Green as our COO and John Pulakakis, he does the commercial side, and they're both doing a great job. But again, it's a personal challenge for these people, and we haven't actually vied away from that at all. And so I think what you get with Jack is a fairly complete package, and you know, he's going to have to work very hard on his body all the time. He's got some structural things that he'll always have to be aware of, but he's so attuned to that, even at a young age, that he's giving himself a great chance. And James McDonald, I don't think there's been a more underrated player in our club's history, and underrated not only in the context of AFL football, but I think our own supporters underrate him a little bit as well. If we counted our best and fairest now and included the pre-season games in that count, he'd be in front. And I think what we see with James is we're getting a little bit back with Geordie McKenzie at the moment. He's got a bit of that just that appetite for a tackle that James has got, and he's just a rip. And I reckon it was a great thing that he got to kick that goal right at the end. There's no man's worked hard. He's hardly missed a training session the whole pre-season, and he's pushing around a 33-year-old body. He didn't reach puberty until he was 26, so he'll probably play till he's 49.
The other question I've been asked, sort of wandering through here, is you mentioned Jack Watts earlier. Yeah. He had a very good game last night. How soon do you think he will be ready for senior selection?
Look, it depends on. Look, it's one of those things. You could play him now, or you could choose to wait. But what they're more concerned about is not the fact that he's actually playing. He just hasn't had the volume of training over, or really throughout the whole pre-season, and he's now starting to get that. And people might say, well, how come you played Garland and not Watts? Well, Garland's done a lot more training than what Jack's had, and he's also a 2 or 3 year player in the system, whereas Jack hasn't done a pre-season yet. But he's got. Anyone who watched the game or saw the game yesterday, he's physically different already. He needs to get a lot more strength through his core, which is, I know, talked about a lot but it is just so vital when you're talking about a 6'5" athlete who is a serious athlete, that we just don't want to have him losing 12 months with osteitis at some stage in the future and all those things. He's our most valuable asset in many ways. Him and probably 3 or 4 others who you could be in competition with. But he's a terrific young fella. He wants desperately to be out there playing a role, and we can look forward to about between 250 and 300 games out of him. So let's not get too impatient.
And finally, bring on Richmond next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting thing today is that at half time in the game we were paying $6.60 or something like that, someone said. Did anyone have a piece of that? No, you got no faith, you know. So there's going to be, we're going to go into the games as favourites, and so that's a different position for us to have as well. So all of these things are part of our growing maturity and the things that we need to get better at as we evolve as a team, that we're going to come into game as favourite. And let's face it, we were 1 point off being 2-1, you know, 2 points off being 2-1 now. So that's, you can gain momentum within your club. Momentum's a critical thing, but it won't. The same thing as a disappointing loss or a really fighting win won't distract us from where we actually want to take the group. And you'll hear that comment a lot. We're not going to be distracted about building something which you can get really excited about, and that's a team which has got the genuine capacity to compete and win premierships, and that's what we're here to do. So,
ladies and gentlemen, Cameron.